Okay, we're live. Testing, testing. Today on Quality Time with Family Ties, we learn this week the crew of Family Ties had an extra tripod.
And in 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, welcome to Quality Time with Family Ties. I am one of your hosts, Scott Jones. Joining me as always, Mr. Paul Packler. Paul, how you feeling? You're looking low.
Low, yo. I had 2 beers last night, but I stayed up till 3 a.m. watching Stranger Things, and I feel like I've died.
How many episodes in are you?
I finished.
Did you like it?
It was great. It was
It's
so
great.
good.
I'm only about 3 episodes in, so
Yeah, it's really good.
Are you liking it, Corey?
very much.
Yeah, it's wonderful. The kid actors on there are fantastic. So yeah, I get why you were up till 3 a.m. now, Paul.
Yes, indeed. But, you know, my age is catching up with me where I can't stay up late anymore. But I think I'm burying the lead that today is...
Mr. Corey Pepper's birthday. Happy birthday, Corey.
Thank you very much. I'm thrilled. I love birthdays. I'm one of those people who just loves his own birthday.
Right,
Corey is turning 28 years old today, which
28 years old.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I'm 60. I keep on doing the Molly Shannon. I'm 60, and I like to kick. I'm
Please do that all day today, Corey.
will, because I'm 60. Oh, man. And
Wow.
by the way, when I started watching this episode, I was 46. So this episode aged me substantially.
You guys think so? I actually enjoyed this episode.
I did not hate it. I think it was above meh. I thought it was a great idea for an episode. I kind of wish there were more jokes in it, but I thought like the idea behind it was really good.
Okay. What did you think, Corey?
It was elevated by the fact that Tracy Pollan was guesting on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Gosh, I really liked it. I thought the structure was great. I thought that the B plot tied with the A plot was great, and I thought the jokes were great. So I'm shocked that I liked it as much as you guys did not.
I am too. Like, yeah, I agree with you on structure and everything. I just there was some. I don't know. I was wanting some more jokes.
Right.
I guess.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, let's get into it. If you're playing at home with us, guys, we are on season 4, episode 4.
5.
Episode 5. Wow. This is what happens when I miss an episode with you guys. Episode 5. Don't go changing. Picture Billy Joel.
Yeah, that didn't sound like Billy Joel at all. What song was that?
That keyboard at the beginning. Dun, 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 dun. That's what I should have done.
That sounds even less like Billy Joel. What is that?
I am not a musician, Paul.
But you're a singer.
Not really.
It goes like this. All right, here we go. You ready?
Okay.
Ba 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 ba. See, that's it. That's how. Ba, 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 ba.
That sounds like When You Wish Upon a Star.
I thought it was the McDonald's I'm Loving It theme.
Or that.
That's what it was.
Bum, bum.
Yeah. I'm loving it.
It's,
By McDonald's now.
that's... well,
I'm loving it. If Sinatra did McDonald's commercial, I'm loving it. Buy a fucking burger, baby.
All right. So we start off in the kitchen. Mallory and Jennifer are playing cards, and Elise comes in, and her and Steven are getting ready to go to a book club, classic literary book club, that she insists Steven is loving, despite the fact that Monday Night Football is happening.
Yeah, you know, I just finished Gary David Goldberg's memoirs.
Okay.
I bought it a couple of weeks ago, and I finished it shortly before something. I don't know. My brain isn't working. And it's funny that in reading it, I didn't realize this, but like Gary David Goldberg, he grew up in Brooklyn and he loved sports growing up. He met his wife, and then he became a lot artsier, and they went around the world hitchhiking and stuff like that. And so, like, for as much as he likes to purport that he's a hippie, he really never was. He was just some guy who liked to go hitchhiking a lot. And so it's like, that makes a lot more sense with Stephen and Elise not being as political and stuff like that. And in this case, Stephen being so obsessed with sports, and it's like, but wait, you're a hippie. You should be all about arts and stuff like that. Well, Gary David Goldberg was the biggest poser hippie ever. And so that, for me, ties this in a knot of like, so why is Stephen being such a putz about going to this book reading thing?
I think it also explains, on the same thread, their seeming obsession with trying to make Alex appear as though he's a sports fan.
Yeah.
You know how they keep on referencing how big a sports fan Alex is, but there's no evidence to prove that Alex is actually a sports fan.
Yeah.
They do pretty much the same thing with Stephen. Oh, he's such a big sports fan. Okay, well, it's sort of like he's sort of a poser as a political father, and he really is a sports fan.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Gary David, his fanaticism for sports in one way or the other, he's going to get it in. So he gets it into Stephen, and he also explores it by not having it really present in Alex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting. I never understood why that was such a current throughout this series, but now it totally makes sense, and why it's so ham-fisted in there.
Yeah, it makes that explains so much about especially about this episode, because the whole time I was like, Steven doesn't seem like the type of guy who would get that upset about missing a football game.
No.
You know, like, or at least not to the extreme they push him in this. So yeah, Steven comes down with a blanket wrapped around him, a water bottle on the head, and a thermometer saying he has a temperature of 134, to which he would be dead, and says he can't make it to the book club tonight because he's sick.
And they're reading Crime and Punishment, the Dostoevsky book, which is a great book. I love that book. It's really good. That's it. So I think he's a fool for not wanting to go. I think it's a great book.
Right. And they
Are you a big fan of what's that?
Dostoevsky is such light reading. I'm really much more into Du Maurier.
Who is that? I don't know who that is.
I don't know. That's my pseudo-intellectual literary character. Punishment. It's such a good book. It's not quite as good as War and Peace, but I like it a little bit better than the Brothers Karamazov.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, nice.
Wow.
Nice.
You're just dropping all of the Russian novelists. I thought, no, when you said Demore, I thought you were doing like the Shawshank Redemption mispronouncing of Dumas, where he's like, dumbass. And I thought you were going in a new direction of mispronouncing.
Oh, Lord.
Corey's going to start a book club.
All fake books. It'll be amazing.
Fake books. That would be amazing. But Elise points out, like, to Stephen, like, why Stephen says that Alex is going to be so bummed out because he's not watching the game with him, and Elise points out, no, he's out at Ingmar Bergman Festival with Ellen catching a film, and why can't you be more like him? And right on cue, Alex, Ellen, and Ellen's friends all come in.
Mm-hmm.
And Alex thinks that Ingmar Bergman is a fraud. I don't even know what that means. He's amazing.
Yeah, fraud to what?
Yeah, I'll go with you. He's amazing.
What's your favorite, Corey? I love Seventh Seal.
I like Seventh Seal very, very much.
Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah, it is really cool.
Now, if they said Fellini is a fraud, I think Alex could have made a case there that, you know, I just don't like Fellini. So if you want to come at me, Twitter, come at me.
That's right.
Fellini's a little bizarre, even for bizarre people like us.
Yeah.
He's just his vision is very abstract, and I just can't really relate to it at all. And his storytelling just isn't. I can't get into it.
No.
Now Truffaut
Is good, and Godard even better. Love Godard.
But when speaking of really revelatory filmmakers, Seth Rogen. Now
yes, that is. Or I do prefer the early works of Bay, Michael Bay.
Michelle Bay.
Mikhail Bay.
Yeah, sure. Mikhail Bay, exactly.
Mikhail Bay. I find his vision of the future quite transcendental.
By future, do you mean women's asses and tits?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. Like just zeroing in for days. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, for long, long takes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Paul, you're right. Alex's first line, Ingmar Bergman's a fraud, and everyone loved the film except for Alex.
What's funny is, all of these friends of Ellen's that they went to the movies with are all dancers. Can you imagine a bunch of dancers going to see a Bergman film?
After our experience, I know.
They'd have to run out and have their cigarette break.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine the dancers that we know watching any movie where you have to read it? That would be, no.
And we have one of Ellen's friends, David, who we will be talking about further, but he obviously is more of a dancer than an actor because he's just there pontificating about the film, and it's the worst acting I've ever seen.
David. Well, we know where his talent lies.
Right, we do. We do. So yeah, and so Ellen's friends bring up that they're all getting together. One of their college professors is going to bring over some albums to play, and they're going to go over some early readings of who are they? Who the fuck cares?
Who could care? I mean, they're going to someone's apartment to listen to bad poetry.
Yeah.
And records, and drink cappuccinos?
Well, that's how you know it's intellectual, Paul, because there's cappuccino involved. That's beatnik hippie shit.
Right.
And just when they're talking about the cappuccinos, Alex is getting out his jug of orange juice.
I'm going to keep it American. Pour this glass of orange juice. Not drink that Italian commie shit. Yeah. And of course, Alex has no interest in wanting to go at all, and even kind of insists that I'm not going to go, Ellen. And so Ellen doesn't go.
Yeah, and it becomes a debate. All the friends leave, and he's like, "Ellen, go! I want you to go." And she's like, "Are you sure? I don't want to go if you're not going." He's like, "I don't care. Go, please, have fun." And then she's like, "All right," and she leaves. And he says, "I can't believe she went."
She left. Yeah. Now this brought up a question for me. They haven't been dating that long, right?
Right.
It's been a couple of weeks. When stuff like that comes up, like it's obvious she wants to go with her friends. And whether you like the friends or not, you're just dating this girl. There's got to be a little bit of effort, I would think, into going to that party. I don't think you're at the point in the relationship where like there's that separation yet. It's like, oh, you go with your friends. I got to get this done. I kind of think like you got to make an investment in her friends, because that's kind of her, her world.
What do you think? I don't know. I feel like in college everyone's so busy that like the amount of time you spend together with someone is not that much to begin with. So of course you're going to be hanging out with friends without each other. I don't know. I could see it go either way.
Yeah, I would give you busy, like if they each had something to do, but Alex really didn't have anything to do, it seemed.
Yeah, he barely goes to class, it seems.
Right, exactly. He had nothing to do that night, so it's just like, maybe make a little effort and just go to this party for a little bit and then find a reason to leave. I don't know. That's just what popped up at me.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. All right, yeah, but you're right. He goes, I can't believe she left.
Mm-hmm.
And then we cut back to Elise and Steven are coming back from the book club, and Elise is pissed at Steven because he yelled out, "There's a fire! Everyone run to the closest TV!" And Alex is just so impressed with the relationship of his parents. He's wondering, how do you do it? How do you, keep common interest?
I love that, though. That's like our Alex, the ultimate narcissist, is asking somebody, how do you not be a narcissist? How do you care about somebody else so much that you want to be with them and do the same things as them? Because you're a narcissist. I understand why that doesn't make any sense to you, Alex.
And that's kind of why I like this episode. Is like Alex being involved with Ellen is so good to explore Alex's character even more.
Yeah, the limits that the character has, and then try to push those and see what they do in those situations.
Right, right. But yeah, Steven, they basically are talking about the main thing you have in common with her is that you both love each other, and you got to be a little bit more flexible. And of course, giving Alex P. Keaton that advice is going to make him take it way to the edge.
Daddy?
Right?
Right, exactly, yes. What was the, Oh, the big thing that Alex wants is a girl that will revolve around him, like the Earth round the sun type thing, and all kinds of stuff like that, and that's milked forever. Like, in multiple scenes, they talk about this hypothetical girl.
Right. Going back to Corey's, how much of a narcissist Alex is. That's just crazy to think.
And Steven talks about how he tried to befriend Elise's friends back when they were kids, and then they just turned out moving to another state, and that's how they fixed it.
There you go.
And then the next thing is the ballet class.
Yeah, the ballet. Yeah, Alice is going to go visit Ellen at her ballet class. Not really sure why. I guess just to pop in and see her.
I mean, there's lots of girls and guys in their leotards, so I mean, I think that's enough reason just to go check out, see what's happening.
Good ballet
Well,
class.
I'm guessing he shows up because he heard that Ellen's not wearing a bra today.
I'm miniature golf clapping because he wanted to go miniature golfing.
Right.
Holy moly! Holy moly! Ellen is the best. She's so hot.
We love
I love her.
Ellen.
Yeah,
Love
we love
Ellen. And she's being so cool throughout this entire episode.
Yeah.
And you know what? I really admire her because she also ekes out of almost having to go to Guido's.
Corey! Alex wanted to go to that same Italian restaurant. What is wrong with him?
I wrote it like they almost went to Guido's. They almost had to get that fucking set out of the storage unit.
There is no other restaurant where they live.
It's like me to a girlfriend being like, so we're gonna have dinner tonight, right? We're gonna have date night, and she's like, yeah, where do you want to go? And I'm like, well, Chipotle's pretty good.
I know a special Mexican restaurant.
Right.
You're gonna love. It's fresh, made right in front of you.
I know the owner. It's great. I'm there all the time.
Yep.
Of course, they're also in this scene. I believe there's a line about them rehearsing for their improv dance company.
Yes.
They're rehearsing for their improv dance company.
Corey,
Yes.
Scott, could you imagine anything more awful than going to see some improv dance?
I so would love to go see that.
Couldn't handle.
I would just. I'm not saying I would stay, but I would just love to see the attempt at improvisational dance.
Look, you know the first rule of improvisational dance, don't you? It's yes plie. It's
Oh! And you don't want to go first position to second position. You want to go first position to fourth position.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. A to C thinking.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly.
Now, I feel like dance in no way lends itself to making things up. You have to know what you're going to do, right?
Seems as though you're going to hurt somebody if you don't, or
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
And it also
I mean-
seems as though you certainly have to be familiar with the music because it's synchronized to a track.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, unless you're doing like a solo thing where it's like just like freestyle showing off the tricks you can do, having a troupe, like a troupe of improv dancers.
That's what I want to see.
That's why they're having auditions, is because people keep kicking each other and we lose members left and right.
It sounds like a bad Monty Python sketch.
Yeah, yeah.
It's whack, pow, pow. Well, should we talk about David in this scene?
I think we've gotten to David now.
I mean, if you thought
Oh, dear.
Ellen's bralessness was a wonder, wait until David's dance beltlessness.
You know,
Wow.
it's all I can say is Tracy Pollan is lovely and small-breasted, but David is anything but small, and he adds jiggle back to television.
Oh God! You see the full outline of the package, like, oh.
I mean,
Couldn't put a jockstrap on him. We had to see every nook and cranny of what his wing did.
His
I think-
dick enters the scene before he does.
yeah, yeah. I think you could see his urethra outlined.
And the scene later where he catches Michael J. Fox, it's not him, it's his dick catching it.
Yeah. And the worst part is Michael J. Fox is so short, they're talking to each other.
Oh God! I wonder if Michael J. Fox felt threatened for any reason, because when he comes in dance gear, he has like a pair of shorts over his leotard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. He didn't want to be compared.
Right.
He knew that comparatively he has a camel toe compared to David.
Yeah.
He wanted to make sure that there was no talk of that, so he put on gym shorts on top of his leotard.
Yeah. Oh man.
David also apparently is the only straight male dancer in all of the state of Ohio, because it's hard to find one.
Yeah. There's usually one in every school, but then
Yeah.
it's funny because Alex is all jealous of David picking up Ellen. It's like we're supposed to infer that like he's jealous that David is more like Ellen, so therefore they'll be a couple.
Right. Right. And there was that weird in a previous scene. There was that weird underlining tone where he's talking about he's a dancer. Like, he wears tights. Like, yeah, there was this weird subtle.
And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it after saying it out loud, to be fair to Alex, this is a girl who will drop her fiance just for some guy that she meets. So the fact that Alex is a little gun shy about the fact that Ellen might drop him.
That's a
Her
fair assumption.
He's got a track record as a serial dater
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's because like, okay, you got what you want, but now you really have to analyze. Wait a second, what does she just do? Good point, Paul. And so Alice kind of leaves feeling rejected because Ellen can't go out that night because she has to rehearse for her improvisational dance company. And he just kind of leaves, feeling, looking back on her and David dancing, and yeah, is bummed.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're back in the kitchen.
Oh, actually, you know what? After he leaves that dance class, they go to commercial. So do you want to take a quick break?
Let's take a commercial break.
Okay, very good. We'll be right back. And we're back.
Yay. And we're back in the kitchen, and Stephen is still trying to make this literary book club work. Lisa's like, yeah, he's really super excited about the club, and he comes charging down with a handheld TV, what looks like a six-pack, and
Something. Chips? So this is supposed to be like potato chips or something?
yeah, and a banner of his team. Nice subtlety, Steven.
Yeah, I don't even know what he's trying to prove.
Nice subtlety.
Like,
And of course,
like he's gonna go to this library and be like, I'll just camp out over here.
I'm gonna go to the library and watch the game.
Yeah,
And of course, yeah. So Elise is like, no, you're not taking that. And he's like, okay, dear, you're right. And he opens up his jacket, and there's the Walkman with the headphones taped inside.
Wow.
which is a little bit more realistic.
Yeah,
Well-
start with that.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then, okay, so they go off, or they're getting ready to go off, and Alex comes in with a huge box of what he calls culture. It is filled with paintings, books about opera, dance. I think one of the book titles that we discovered is Learn to Dance in Your Sleep.
Yes, and opera. Here, wait, what is it? Opera. Why it's more than just annoying, which I thought was a good one.
I thought that
And
was a good one, too.
And I just wrote down that it was Alex's box of pretentiousness.
Yes.
Yes.
And we get, I think, what would be the most, like, exemplary Mallory joke. Like, this is the quintessential Mallory joke that we get for her and Nick and Alex, where she's like, well, you know, that's the nice thing about Nick and I, is that we agree about everything, and we love each other, and us spending time together, and it's like we have one mind. And then Alex goes, who's using it tonight? And I feel like for the rest of the series, they're just going to keep doing that joke in some iteration forever.
It's so funny. I underlined that joke as well, realizing, this is something that they always hammer home to us. And the thing is, I think occasionally they present it and it's a solid joke, but it's still the same joke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And now it's kind of a bummer, too, because now it's not just going to be targeted at Mallory, but it's going to be targeted about Mallory and Nick's relationship. And so now you're kind of limiting yourself of exploring that.
Right, right.
Yeah. So, and so the family tells him, Alex, you can't just become cultured just from reading these books, looking at these paintings and stuff. But of course, Alex is going to take it to the extreme, and that's when he shows up at the auditions for the improvisational dance company.
But you know what, Scott, just one sec. Like, with what Steven and Elise are arguing is that you can't just read some books and know about art. How else do you know about art? Like, if anything, Alex going to this audition and trying to audition is almost taking their advice of being like, no, you have to ingratiate yourself, as opposed to take a class, learn about art history or something. So he almost follows their dumb point of view.
That is a fairly good point, Paul. Yeah, he would. If he did read that book, he at least would have something to talk to Ellen about on her level,
Right.
to some degree. Yeah.
It's like I just read before we started just now about the William Tell Overture on Wikipedia. I didn't go to an audition for the American Ballet Company. I was like, how am I going to learn about this music?
Paul, as a musician, can you do the William Tell Overture for
Oh,
us?
sure. I think it goes a little something like this. Ba 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 ba.
That's good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's how it goes, right?
Yeah,
That's
oh,
the low-rank theme song.
Nice and slow, just like that. Nice pace. Your tempo was excellent.
Thank you. Corey, you seem like you didn't think that sounded...
No, it was terrific. It was just terrific. I didn't want to interrupt.
Yeah, perfect. So Alex shows up at this audition, and of course Ellen's like, "What are you doing here? Like, it's sweet that you want to know more about dance, but maybe you should start with the audience." David is the first to go to dance and everything, and then they bring up Alex, who says his dance goes with anything, play anything, and it's about the stock market crash of 1929. Now, if this is an improvisational dance company, I say he did really well. As all things considered.
I say this is the laziest writing I've ever seen in a soap opera. They wrote in bold letters, Alex P. Keaton dances. Let him do whatever he wants. Give him 1 minute and 12 seconds. Let's move on. And Michael J. Fox staged a mug fest. He ate the camera that was on him. This was not good television. I'm sorry. I want more control. This is not good.
Yeah. This is like, guys, Corey, remember that scene where Mallory and Elise were doing the modeling? And it was like, let them riff for 30 seconds.
That's it. That's exactly what this was. Another moment just like that. Just let him go.
Yeah.
Too much for me. It was like, oh, that's so lazy. Write some material for him to do. Don't make him come up with his own silly dance.
It's like the only thing they put in is like, and on this point, you jump into David's arms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, you know, I feel like it's really awkward to watch. I wish they had choreographed something, even though it sounds ridiculous, but Michael J. Fox leaving him to his own devices for dancing, not good.
No, you're giving him enough rope to hang himself, and that's why. And then they all, at this point in the show, it was so incestuous that they were all laughing and patting each other on the back. This was such a good idea. God, he's funny. Oh my God, he's a movie star. Let him do what he wants. And no, I'm sorry, you need more control over people.
Yeah. And you can even see that he's struggling with it. Like, I'm just throwing shit out here, and hopefully
something sticks.
Yeah. There obviously was not a choreographer on set.
No.
And so Alex, of course, ends up making a fool of himself. He lands flat on his back in pain. And we cut to later that night in the kitchen where he walks in sore back and is telling Elise how everything went.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the ramp down after the climax of the dance class audition is fine. It goes how you think it would. He feels ashamed, and he tells his parents he's ashamed of how he acted. Ellen comes in, everybody leaves, and then they hash it out. And I thought that the scene between Ellen and Alex was good.
Yes. Yeah, it was a great scene.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really good scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And again, in part to Tracy Pollan.
I wrote down Tracy's Pollan's so cute. She's adorable.
She's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what we didn't mention about? I think the first time that Alex goes to class, you actually get to watch Tracy Pollan and the guy that plays David dance together, and she's really good.
Yeah, she can.
Yeah. I think the thing I appreciated throughout this with how they handled her character is at no point is she ever mad at him. Like, she's not mad of him coming in and possibly embarrassing her in her dance class, and she's not mad at him that he didn't want to go with her friends. Like, I kind of appreciated that.
Yeah, it was weird. The obstacle seemed to be Alex with himself, as opposed to them having a big fight with each other. It's more about him and his insecurities.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. There was something about that I liked because it kept at least the story being able to move if she's not bickering with him and he's just kind of struggling with himself.
It could be that we're so burned out with shows where like the guy's an idiot and the King of Queens type dynamic, or Everybody Loves Raymond, or all those type shows.
Yeah.
To see it where, I don't know, it doesn't fall into that same paradigm or relationship. That's nice. It just.
Yeah. That there's some self-realization with the character. It's like, I know this is what I do, I know, but I still can't help myself. I feel this way, you know.
Yeah.
There was something about that I liked.
So.
But overall, still much better than season 3.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
They're figuring this thing out.
Yeah. And honestly, from my perspective, I think that this is probably the second best episode so far this season. To me, you guys disagree. I think I thought this was a really good episode. I don't know what it was, but something really hit me that I dug this one.
No, I get it. Yeah, I kind of. See, it's been a little while since I've seen the Nick episode. I don't know if I like the Nick episode better.
See, I like the Nick episode better.
You like the Nick episode better? Yeah. I don't know. But definitely, yeah, the best one so far has been the season premiere.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. I think that's it for us. So be sure to rate and review our show on iTunes. And for questions and comments, email us at qualitytimewithfamilyties@gmail.com. And be sure to follow us on Twitter. I'm at QTWFT for all our updates. Or we're at QTWFT for all our updates. All of us are on Twitter. I'm at Follow Jones.
I'm at Paul Packler.
I'm at Corpep.
And be sure to like our Facebook page. We'd like to thank our host and producer, Barbara Dillon at Fanbase Press. Fanbase Press is a comic book publisher and an online community supporting other creators and fans through daily reviews, interviews, and podcasts that span the pop culture spectrum. Be sure to look at everything that they do at fanbasepress.com. We also like to thank Perry Adams, who beautifully performs the Family Ties theme song Without Us. Check out Perry's website at perryadams.com. And also Bryant Dillon, who created our fantastic drawing and artwork, as well as edits our show. Bryant is the president and co-founder of Fanbase Press. Follow him on Twitter at Comic Book Slayer. And also Sean Foster, Fanbase Press's graphic designer, for designing our logo. Thank you, everybody, and we will see you next week.
Bye. Happy birthday, Corey.
Happy birthday, Corey. Happy 28th birthday.